On this week's show, HBO Max now available.
Plus, a Labor Day sale on Peloton devices.
And Cody Rigsby auditioned for the Barbie movie. Jess Sims partners with Dunkin' Donuts, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel, John Pruitt, and John Mills.
Welcome to episode 143 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I am Amanda Siegel, and I am joined this week by not one, but two Johns.
Hey now.
Hello, boys. How are you guys?
Hey,
It's a threesome.
that's right.
I'm telling you, I think we got something going here. I think we've got something going. So we're hearing some good things from the World Wide Web, but that they kind of like me and the Johns. So here I am with the Johns.
Exactly. I love it.
I love it too. How are you guys doing? Everybody well? Everybody have a good week?
Yeah, things are good here.
Absolutely. My daughter's birthday was, 2 days ago, and so we did a lot of celebrating, so that was awesome. She just turned 34.
Beautiful.
She's excited.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. That is
yes.
really really good. It's always nice to be able to celebrate the good stuff, right?
Absolutely.
And you got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot going on this week too, with just these drops and these schedules changing and so much going on at PSNY and we got tons to talk about with you guys today, but we will pre-warn you. It is not a 2-hour show.
It's not a 3-hour
Sorry about
show.
last week. But we did, in all fairness, we had 4 of us on, and we did go ahead and give you 2 weeks rolled into one. But this week, we just have some really good stuff for you guys, and hopefully we are going to knock it out of the park. So here goes. But before we get started with the news, we always like to remind you folks how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
Yep, you can always listen to us too if you're on the go. We're on all podcast platforms. Just search Pelo Buddy TV and subscribe there. Hit notifications so you never miss an update or an episode. And leave us a review. We love getting those 5-star reviews, and we really appreciate the feedback we receive from you. So keep those coming. I know Amanda loves to read all that praise about her, how everyone loves Amanda.
Now, John.
Gives her a nice boost.
We got Mills on the show. Be nice, okay? Be nice. but I do. So you're more than welcome to go ahead and share those 5-star reviews with us.
That's right.
Keep them coming. Yep.
Exactly. And of course, folks, we are on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, you name it, TikTok, we got it all out there. So just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And now, guys, let's get on with the show.
Right.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right, so it looks like we have a new reason to stay on our Peloton hardware devices even longer. Peloton are now beta testing HBO Max as part of its entertainment feature, allowing members to stream their favorite HBO shows directly from their bike, tread, or row. This does come after the introduction of the other streaming channels that we shared with you in the last few episodes of Netflix, Disney Plus, and of course, YouTube. So whether you're in the mood for a workout or just want to go back and watch some Game of Thrones and just
Sopranos.
like that, Or Sopranos. Okay, they have Max. Peloton's got you covered, so you will not miss anything. But it is nice to see that slowly but surely they're rolling out, different channels, and there's something for everybody, because not everybody has YouTube, not everyone uses YouTube, not everyone has Netflix. So for those folks that maybe get, HBO Max with their packages, it's a nice something else for you to be able to use on the platform.
Yeah. Well, now it's just Max.
Max.
It was HBO, HBO Go, HBO Max. They keep rebranding. So now it's just
I can't
Max.
keep up with all of it.
You got to drop the HBO, not just Max.
Just Max. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Keep it clean and simple.
As they drop these things, I know they say they're beta. So I keep wondering, does that mean they might drop off all of a sudden because it's just beta?
I think I interpret beta, John, as being them just sending it out to a couple people to, maybe not everybody on the platform are getting that, just to kind of see how it works, and then roll it out to everyone. That's how I'm interpreting the beta portion of it. But I guess we'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully so. That makes sense. I'm really all of this entertainment based, these streaming services are exciting for me. So I like it. I'm really into the YouTube one because I'm about to get Sunday ticket for the football season, and so I can, walk on the tread and watch a game. I like that. So all this is good.
I know. Now you can watch just like that. You can watch Big while you're riding your Peloton bike, celebrating with Jess King, and then dying of a heart attack later on.
Hopefully the same ending doesn't occur. But right, exactly.
Too funny. All right, what's up next?
All right, so Peloton's Labor Day sale has commenced. For a limited time, Peloton is offering a $500 off all tread packages, up to $500 off Bike Plus packages, up to $400 off bike packages, and $200 off guide, and $200 off row packages. These offers end on September 10th, so check out the One Peloton website if you're interested in taking advantage of any of Peloton's Labor Day sales. I looked at the guide, which I still haven't gotten, but the second tier package where they give you some weights and the mat, and that package with $200 off is like $175. Like, goodness.
That's for nothing.
If you just wanted the weights, it sounds like that would be a deal, right?
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I'm going to have to call one of you. I think, Prue, I'm going to have to chat to you because I finally dusted it off. Now that I'm into my strength, I completed Ben Aldis's Stronger You program. I started my 3-day split program this week. I'm like really into my strength. I don't know if you can see these guns that are happening here.
Guns?
They're coming out.
Okay.
Get some toning going. But I got to tell you, I think I'm an idiot. I don't know how to, it's not working. The guide is just like not connecting to my TV. I don't know what I'm doing. So, I need to reach out to you.
You need some tech support.
I don't know what I need tech support for sure. Cause this blonde doesn't know what's going on. So,
you should pass that on to Mark. Let him set that up for you.
I know. I try to. He's clueless. We'll keep him trading. He's better at that. But it is nice to know that there are these Labor Day sales. So folks, that haven't jumped on that bandwagon can still do so, which I always like to see. Yeah.
Well, the All for One Music Festival is just around the corner. So next Thursday, September 7th, it runs through that Saturday, the 9th, and we have a lot more detail. We have a full write-up on pelobuddy.com with all of the classes that are scheduled, and there's tons of on-demand stuff. But we have the full list of the 32 artists shared in the lineup. Right now, though, it currently appears that only 5 of those artists, those 5 artists will have live classes for them. So, and they are currently Shaka Khan, Skrillex, Felix, Jane has one class, Hosier, and Katy Perry. And then the rest all presumably have been pre-recorded and will drop straight to the on-demand library. But several UK coaches will be teaching live from PSNY during that time. So yeah, there's a bunch of Shaka Khan live row classes. There's a bunch of Skrillex. There's about 5 different Skrillex classes across different modalities. There's a row, upper body, a run, a walk. And there's also a live Skrillex ride with Camilla that's in Spanish. That's on September 9th. And then there's a bunch of Hosier live classes, a Pilates with Kristen McGee. There's a row with Matt Wilpers, a live ride with Dennis, all on, these are all on September 9th, by the way. And then there's some Katy Perry live classes. There's a row with Katie Wong. There's a walk plus run with Andy Spear. That's 30 minutes. There's Katy Perry, 30-minute Katy Perry ride with Cody. That happens live the Saturday, the 9th at 11:30 Eastern. So I'm sure that one will have a packed leaderboard at PSNY. So.
Well, it's nice, as you said, that some of the UK instructors will be those. So Hannah and Leanne both have those Shaka Khan live classes on Thursday. So crossing
Hannah's
fingers.
got the walk plus run. Yeah.
I'm on the wait list. I am on the wait list for Leanne. I could not get in, but I did get a waitlist spot. So I am crossing fingers that I make it. I make it.
People getting off the wait list all the time.
I don't know, John.
We'll see.
I'm telling you, it's getting harder and harder. But yeah, what I will say though, John, were you finished? Is that it for the All for One stuff?
Only one thing, that when I saw there that there's the first row class with members in studio is going to occur.
Is that the one with Ash?
Yes.
Yeah, with Ash. Yeah.
That's on the 7th. Yep.
I think there are a few, and I know that Chris Lewis tried to get into a couple of them and just got waitlisted for all of them. He was not able.
How many rowers they're gonna squeeze in there around that stage?
Well, that's why I was kind of hoping that he was going to get in, because he could have come back to report. But clearly, we don't get anything preferential here at Pelo Buddy. No special treatment. So there's going to be no insider scoop on what the Row Studio looks like, which is a bummer. But I know that he was really hoping to get into some of those classes and just wasn't able to. So I don't think there are very many. You know, I'm assuming maybe 5 spots, 4 spots. I don't even know. I have no clue. I have no clue, how many spots there are. So yeah, if anyone's listening or watching to the show, definitely let us know. So, we may not have a show next week. We'll see. But if we do, then, we'll definitely want to report that back to you guys. So that'll be good. That'll be good. Well, definitely some more exciting news coming out of New York. And at least for those of you that know me well and have listened regularly, to the show, Leanne Hainsby and Hannah Frankson are gearing up for a very special time meet and greet in Paramus, New Jersey. So that is going to happen on September the 7th. The event is from 5 to 8, and it's being hosted at the Peloton store. So kind of like what they've done in Santa Monica and what they did in Atlanta. And of course, these other meet and greets that have been going on, across the country. They are going to be in Paramus. It is going to have an intimate Q&A session. So folks were asked to, forward their questions for Leanne or Hannah prior to the event. There will be a delightful tea and biscuits. And biscuits, for those that are not English, are cookies. So that are not your, fried chicken and biscuits. It is cookies that you're getting and a unique sip and shop. So, it will give folks an opportunity to, see Peloton's fall apparel that hasn't quite yet dropped. So people will be able to shop and kind of pre-buy, the apparel if they choose to. But if you are hoping to join, you might be a tad late. Tickets have already been claimed. What I did hear, though, from a member, which was very helpful, is that apparently when the tickets first dropped, Leanne had posted something on her social media. So that was really the only way folks got to hear about it initially. Peloton Studios on their social media page did not share anything specific, but Leanne did with the link to book. And when the tickets were first released, a lot of folks in the UK thought that it was a UK event. So the tickets went really quickly, but then they were re-released. Then we suddenly saw on Wednesday that the booking became available again. And what we have since found out, again, according to the Paramus showroom, is that the UK folks that had booked then found out that it was, in fact, an event that was happening here in the US, canceled their spots, which in turn opened up spots for others to be able to get in. And I do have to say,
so did you get in? Did you get confirmed?
I did, and I am so happy. I am just so happy. Because I was bummed. I was so bummed. I know I reached out, to folks to say, hey, can you get me in? And it was lovely. And in fact, this is what's so special about this community. And I'm going to give a huge shout out to Jamie Brooks, Pedal to Paris, because Jamie knew how gutted I was that I didn't get in. And the minute she saw it, she booked a spot for me. Meanwhile, Chris Giles was busy calling me going, have you seen? So I was booking for myself. And I will say I felt really good because I was able to pay it forward. So I was able to actually get 2 girls into the tea who were desperate and couldn't get tickets, but I had, a couple extra spots. So it felt really good to be able to get folks that just, adore Leanne and Hannah to be able to get in there. So that definitely made me feel good. But it's, it's one of those things. It was a free event, which is great. These meet and greets tend to be that. So there's no fee to go and, get to see them. And it's going to give folks an opportunity, that would never be able to meet them unless they went to London, a chance to really, have a more intimate type. And I actually said to someone, in a way, these events, and especially after having experienced, Peloton on tour in Atlanta, are actually nicer than being in the classes. The classes are fun and it's great to work out, but you get your, 30 seconds with the instructor for a quick picture. Right. You're all sweaty and disgusting. Here you're able to at least dress up, look decent, have a nice picture with the instructors. And they really do. And again, I'm assuming it'll be the same as what they did in Atlanta. They really spent time with the members. So chatted, very, just pleasant with the members and spent time. So I'm hoping that that's going to happen, at this event as well. So, again, this event is just kind of a glimpse of some of the activities that they will be having, or doing in the Big Apple. As we mentioned, they are both going to be teaching classes, for the All for One Music Festival. So they each have one live with members class, both Hannah and Leanne. And of course, Ben has his strength class, and just dropped a ride as well. And then they will also be filming some classes that are not with members in the studio, but they will be filming a couple of classes while they're in New York as well. So that's really kind of exciting.
Can I just mention 2 things with regards to this topic? One, Chris Lewis reached out to me about a different event, the Fireside Chat at PSNY with Moni Love and Jadakiss, because he knew I wanted to.
You wanted to go. I remember from
Moni
last
Love
week.
Going back to the 80s, right? And so he reached out to me as soon as it dropped, and I was able to get into that. And it reminded me of that when you talked about, Pedal to Paris, getting you into this event. It's like the idea of the collective community kind of working with each other and kind of, collaborating and helping each other. That's what that kind of felt like when you said that, and what Chris Lewis kind of did for me. So shout out to Pedal to Paris. And then also Hannah Frankson. Okay, a couple of weeks ago, I was at Fordham University for Jess Sims' event, the charity event. And at the end of the basketball game, I went to center court and to just say, I didn't want to take up anybody's time. I just wanted to say, hi to Jess real quick because she knew I was going to be there, and hi and bye. And there was a crowd of people around Hannah. And so I didn't want to be intrusive. So I just let it be and left. But I wish I could have met her that day. So Hannah, if you listen, I'm just letting you know, we're going to figure this out. Next time.
I'm going to tell her. I'm going to tell her when I see her next week, John.
And knock some people out of the way, Yeah.
You got to be aggressive. I figured you just got to be aggressive, but I appreciate that. I appreciate
Got to shoot your shot.
Right. I was just like, I ain't bothering Hannah. Let me get on out of here. The next time, Hannah.
Well,
it is nice.
Amanda, when you were messaging with us, when you were all bummed out that you couldn't successfully initially RSVP to the showroom event in Paramus, you had said you had called and got on the wait list. So just after that, my good friend from New Jersey, Steve, who's a Peloton member, and he's a big fan of Hannah Frankson, he saw, I guess, Leanne's post, and he messaged me, how do I get into this? And I go, go to the showroom, go to the website or whatever. He's like, oh, it's totally shut out. And I said, well, you can try calling and get it on the wait list. And he goes, okay, I'm going to drop your name. And I go, I don't know if that's going to do anything for you, but go for it. So hopefully he got off the wait list too. And
hope so.
I'm sure he'll be one of the only dudes there.
No, but I hope so. I really do hope so. But again, I mean, what you said is amazing. And this is what it's all about, right? I mean, as I said, Jamie was booking. I was on the tread. Chris Giles was busy messaging me, calling me like, you got to get in. You got to make. So it just shows the camaraderie between everybody and how everybody's looking out for everybody else. And this was a big deal. I really wanted to be able to see Leanne. I am fortunate. I'm going to be in London in a couple of weeks, but this was something special, kind of being there as a true OG. I mean, I go back with Leanne to 2018. So, this is really cool. Well, sticking with the UK instructors, moving on, PSL held their first ever run club. And that was Thursday a week ago. So I believe it was Thursday, not this past week, but the week before. Susie, John, Tobias, and Jeffrey all met folks outside the Peloton retail store in Covent Garden. Folks had the opportunity to sign up ahead of time, and they got to run London with the instructors. I mean,
that's pretty cool
is that? So, they really had such an awesome time. There was tons on social media. The members that were there got a free t-shirt, kind of a run club t-shirt, so they could be identified. Almost everybody got to get one and wore one. They did some stretching before and after the run in front of the showroom. But it was really just, a casual, fun opportunity to pound the pavement out, on the streets of London with the instructors. So really excited that this potentially could be something that they'll do, whether it be monthly. I'm assuming, weekly would just be too much work, but monthly for folks to join in and get to do that. So wanted to share that had happened.
That's pretty fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fun stuff. I love it. Cool. All right. Well, Peloton instructor Jess Sims is returning to ESPN's College Game Day broadcasting team for the 2023-2024 college football season. The first game will take place on Saturday, September 2nd in Charlotte, North Carolina. The game will be South Carolina versus North Carolina. Jess debuted with College Game Day last year. For those unfamiliar, College Game Day is an ESPN pregame football show that airs live on Saturday mornings throughout the college football season. The broadcasting team travels to a new campus each weekend and covers games happening across the country. Of course, this means that her signature Tread Boot Camp series, Saturday 60, which typically takes place live at noon Eastern on Saturdays, will transition to a pre-recorded on-demand drop for the duration of the college football season. However, since Saturday 60 classes are open to in-person participation for members, Peloton will tape the classes every Monday. The first class is already on the studio booking site for September 11th at noon, but is labeled with the note pre-recorded, indicating that the class will not air live. The Saturday 60 classes will likely be added to the studio booking site 6 weeks in advance, along with other classes. They will be filmed on Monday, as we said, and then become available on the on-demand library, likely premiering on the Encore schedule at the standard Saturday 60 time slot at noon on Saturdays. There are also classes scheduled for September 18th and October 2nd already out there, both taking place at 2 p.m. Eastern time, but all those classes are currently full. The Saturday 60 is a popular Jess Sims class. I mean, that's a popular thing. It always made me wonder last year, once she was doing College Game Day and these things had to be like pre-recorded things, are people really
taking
into
them
kind of like the live thing?
Right.
So will there be like an impact that, now it's pre-recorded? But I don't think there was much of an impact. I think it was still the same deal. So
yeah,
she was pre-recording them last season. It was just the only difference was there's no members in the studio for them. So.
Right.
And I think
at least now you get that element.
Right. And also people set aside that Saturday, they know that this is what they're doing on a Saturday morning. So I kind of like the idea that they'll drop, at the normal time on Saturdays. Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Because people that do them are religious about them. I'm not one of them, but
me neither.
That's not how I want to.
I love you, Jess.
I want to take it easy on Saturdays.
One of these 60-minute classes.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I could be in studio. In a class
I'll still make memes about Saturday 60s. Like I take them on the regular, but I don't do them very often.
We won't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody other than the 5 people that listen to the show. We just won't tell anybody.
Right. Thank you, 5 people.
I love the whole ESPN College Game Day thing too. I mean, that is just, and that it kind of has continued for a second season. Hopefully that continues. All of that is just more celebrity for her and more exposure to Peloton. So
I'm really hoping cool. that I would think that College Game Day will come to Ann Arbor this year, which it'll be the very last game of the season, which it'll be kind of cold November weekend because that's the Ohio State Michigan game. But I'm hoping maybe earlier in the season there'll be a big rival. There'll be a big matchup in Ann Arbor where they'll come earlier in the season. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed because it would be fun to not have to wait months until Thanksgiving weekend to get a chance to go down there to have a sign and be there.
I saw a couple spots on the schedule. I saw like week 13 they're in Atlanta, and like week 15 they're at Foxborough, so they're in Mass. So the Mass one's close to me. Yeah. Oh,
because they never seem to announce anything like that far. It's always like they usually announce it a week before what their next weekend location is going to be based on the outcome of that weekend's games. For whatever matchups.
I saw a whole list out there. Yeah, they went through 15 weeks.
Or was it like a confirmed, or because a lot of places, a lot of websites have like the speculation list of what each week's game day location could be based on, the rankings and the matchups that are going on.
Yeah, it might have been a speculation. You got me questioning now. It might have been a speculation. I'll have to check that out because I was already planning. I'm going to be up in Mass. Yeah, we'll have to check.
And you can see how quiet I am because clearly this doesn't mean anything to me. So
Amanda's got nothing to contribute on this.
I got nothing to contribute to this other than to tell the UK and German and Australian folks that are listening to the show, those are the 2 of the 5, that College Game Day is, obviously college football, which is our rugby for those in the, over there. As you know, it's not soccer, but football. And that is, happens throughout, out the fall. So that's,
if you're into college US football, then game day is kind of, it's kind of like the weekly summary leading up to that day's games, before they kick off, at 11 a.m. Eastern or noon Eastern on Saturdays.
Awesome.
So it's a good roundup of all the matchups that day. Okay. We've got some shifting gears a little bit. We've got some new outdoor reloaded artist series classes that dropped this past Thursday morning, the 31st. They're audio only. There's 7 classes in total, but we've got a 45-minute The Beatles run with Selena Samuela, a 20-minute power walk with Tobias, which is in German, a 20-minute Donna Summer walk with your with your guy, Matty Giacomo, Amanda. A 20-minute Bad Bunny run with Camilla. 30-minute Pink Walk with Jess Sims. And a 20-minute Thomas Rhett walk plus run with Matt Wilpers. And then a 30-minute Fall Out Boy run featuring Pete Wentz, who will be on the class, the audio, with Andy Spear, which was funny. On Thursday morning, they posted the Peloton Studios, and then Andy reshared it, a funny reel with Pete Wentz, who's the bassist for the band Fall Out Boy. They showed him sitting like in the green room lounge, and Andy walked in full emo, like with a black wig, with like the bangs, and he had like the wallet chains and like the long like black jean shorts on, like total emo dress up to promote it. Yeah, it was cute.
Too funny. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Donna Summer one. A nice walk, and this gorgeous Labor Day weekend is definitely called for. So that is, I'm glad those dropped right before Labor Day. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, we shared with you the lineup for All for One last week. Well, we tried to share. Some of the artists were hard to pronounce, but we did our best. But there was an additional artist series that dropped for the end of September, featuring none other than Janet Jackson. So, as far as the live classes go, for right now, all we know of is a run on Thursday, the 28th of September with Bex Gentry, and a ride with Emma Lovewell, also at 7 p.m. on the 28th. Once we have the full lineup, we will absolutely share it with you folks. But for now, that was what dropped, where members could sign up again this past Thursday for those particular classes.
The Janet Jackson Artist Series. People are going to be excited about that. I think so, right?
I think so.
I think so. Might be one. I might be one of them. I'd be excited.
I love her music. I mean, that's going to be. I wouldn't have put Emma Lovewell actually with someone to I wouldn't have mixed her with Janet. But hey,
right.
I mean, I think it's going to be great.
I want a series of the other Jackson, Michael Jackson, which we can't hear on Peloton because it's so restricted.
Right.
One of these days.
Yeah, maybe
that was the case with the Beatles for the longest time, and then the floodgates opened, and they finally got the music rights. You never know.
Yeah. Yes. So Peloton has announced a new partnership with Accor, Australia's largest hotel operator. As part of the agreement, Peloton bikes will be placed in more than 50 Accor hotels, resorts, and apartments around Australia. In addition, guests who exercise with Peloton on the bike or the app during their stay will be eligible to earn Accor loyalty points. There will also be an offer to fast-track your Accor status to gold. This will be emailed to eligible Peloton members. The press release states, for a limited time, guests will be rewarded for working out with Peloton with the ability to earn 100 all Accor Live Limitless reward points when they work out on the Peloton bike or the Peloton app during their stay at one of the participating Accor hotels, including Movenpick Melbourne, hopefully I said that right, Pullman Hyde Park, Scofitel Darling Harbour, Novotel Perth Murray Street, and Pepper's Soul Surfers Paradise. Guests will need to display their Peloton app workout history to the gym staff or the hotel's front desk prior to checkout. A QR code will be provided, and guests can register for the limited time offer. Loyalty points should appear on the user's account within 2 weeks and can then be used on future vacations or to secure tickets to live events. Peloton has also published a new support page regarding the partnership. The facts section states that individuals can earn 100 reward points per day and can only do so 3 times within 1 year. I think that's all I got on that. That's pretty cool.
What a great incentive. What a great incentive to be active when you're staying. You know, people are going, whether it be for vacation or whether it be for business, but, you know, giving yourself an incentive to work out, I think is genius.
Kind of nice to get the rewards. You got to show the receipts, though.
That's okay. I like it. I like it. Show them receipts.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, I guess it's a good enticement to get folks to use the equipment in these particular locations if they aren't already. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, moan away, Joan. John, I know exactly what you're going to say.
This is what happens when you assign the topics. Now I get to be the Debbie Downer this week and go over the recent class purges. All right. So another round of Peloton's ongoing class library maintenance. It took place on the 25th of August. So we saw the removal of classes that were filmed between February 9th and the 19th of 2020. So exactly 2 weeks of content. 40 classes were spared, interestingly enough, from this past week's purge. The highest number of classes exempted since the last library maintenance that began earlier this year. So as usual, there were special theme classes, some artist series, signature instructor series, such as Ali Sundays with Love, XOXO Cody. They continue to be spared. And in addition, Peloton seems to be continuing to preserve a number of Power Zone rides. And finally, a lot of sleep meditations were also saved, most of them from Peloton's Power of Sleep program. And some standalone classes not tied to a specific program or collection were also spared, such as a marathon race prep run with Matt Wilpers and a really random intervals and arms ride with Cody Rigsby. And interestingly enough, just this past Thursday, I took a ride with Cody, which will actually probably get purged next week because it's from February 26th of 2020 from the old 23rd Street. But I was just looking at old Cody rides, while we're off, while there's no live classes. And I was like, I've never done this random Cody ride. So I just figured, what the hell, go back to dig deep in the vault and just take this one randomly, which was fun.
Right.
And also Peloton is continuing to preserve classes from German instructor Irene Schultz, who's no longer she hasn't been with the company for some time now, but her content continues to remain in the library.
Probably was a contract, addendum when she left to figure out, how she can still get her name out there, I'm sure. And probably one of them was like, don't purge my classes, keep them up there. Which is interesting. Very interesting that those have stayed there. All right. Well, as we hit September, those folks up north can start getting excited about the third leg of Peloton On Tour, which is happening in Chicago the weekend of October 5th through the 7th. We believe that the schedule and instructors will be announced September 6th, and tickets will go on sale September 7th. This is, in fact, a 2-day shift from when it was originally announced. So if you guys remember before, tickets were going on sale on the Tuesday. So folks got to find out on the Monday for California, for Santa Monica. Tickets went on sale on Tuesday. For Atlanta, we saw the announcements being made on the Tuesday and tickets going on sale on the Wednesday. Make sure you check next week and stay on top of it for those that are interested in wanting to attend, because I do find it very interesting with this shift of dates, because as everyone knows, Thursday at noon is when class schedules drop. So anyone trying to get into live classes at PSNY and PSL would be booking.
So this will help. This will help the folks like me that are actually going to be trying for the Chicago tour tickets.
There it is.
So and whether you're I actually thought about it from the other perspective, John. I actually thought about it from the perspective of those folks that are desperate to get into the studio who haven't been able to now may have an opportunity.
Yeah, it could work both ways. It could work both ways.
Correct. So next Thursday would be the class drops for the weekend of October 12th through the 16th. So so folks will have to make a choice whether they're, going to go for tickets for Chicago or for tickets for the studio. September 7th is also a really big day though at PSNY, because that's the day that Leanne and Hannah have their classes and will be in town, and those are at 12:30. So anybody taking those classes will not be able to be booking, anything for the following, drop for the week, of in October. So, interesting timing, with all of that. But as you and I both said, John, it possibly will give folks that are pretty anxious to get into the studio an opportunity to, get in. Who knows what the whole, randomness of the booking process really is, and who gets in and who doesn't get in. I think I proved this past Thursday that a lot of it has to do with internet speed. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
My internet speed is just very mediocre. I thought we had good internet speed, but clearly we don't. So, I struggled to get into a class that I wanted to get into and did not get into it. So that's something that, folks should be aware of.
Since you attended Peloton on Tour Atlanta, John, you were there too.
On tour. And was just in Atlanta the week that.
Or you were just I don't think you attended. You didn't go to any events, did you, John?
Events.
Yeah, but in terms of what sort of advice or tips can you give anyone watching, including myself? Because now it looks like this is going to be a family affair, and Jackie's going to come and possibly Jackson. So, when I'm selecting an event, can you just choose 2 tickets for it, or is it 2 separate transactions?
Nope. So you can. Okay. So what you want to do then is, again, you'll have the opportunity the day before to take a look at what the schedule looks like.
Right.
So you have a good idea as to what you want. Obviously, you and Jackie go for different stuff. So both be on and book at this, on the same time, so that you're at least getting.
Yeah, she's going to be out of town, so it's all on me.
Oh shoot!
She's going to be in Zion.
I can't even help you. I can't even help you because I'm going to be in studio. But that's what you kind of have to do if you've got 1 or 2 jabronis that want to, help you along.
What if I have separate browsers open?
Yeah, it's tough. They go quickly. So I think definitely look at what you want. And then don't start at the top. Go to the end. So, if you know that you absolutely want to get into, if they're having a field day and that's on the Saturday, then book that first, because most people are booking, the Thursday class, Thursday options first, and then, we'll move down into the, Friday and lastly the Saturday. So that would be my advice. That would definitely be my advice. Definitely book, 2 spots, to be prepared to do that, because that way at least, you know that you can both go. But it is again, it's just, it's a fitness of the fittest. What is it? It's fitness.
It's all this added stress with booking any kind of Peloton related class or event or Q&A or book launch party.
Yeah.
To me, it's mind blowing. It is mind blowing that, and yet the stock continues to, be disgusting. It's just so funny how members just want to be in on everything.
We're just rabid for everything.
Yeah, we really are.
Oh, yeah.
We really are.
And there's a lot of us, so.
Right. So a girlfriend said, Krabby Cakes, Holly Kabler said that her son said this is worse than Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift is like a once-off thing. This is every
this is just
week.
Ongoing. Yeah.
This is
every week.
You're trying every week. And there are just so many folks that just can't get into anything. So it's all about community. I got to tell you folks, it really is about community, because I got fortunate. I tried to get in for Ben's EDM ride, and I had 3 browsers open. I had my phone open. I could not get into it. It was just not an option. It showed me book. I went to hit book. God, this class is already.
And then you're shut out. Yeah.
And then I was shut out. And I was fortunate that a friend was able to get 2 spots. How was I not able to get anything and somebody else?
And they got 2.
I don't
Luck of the draw
want to say I don't
sometimes.
like that. I don't want to say I don't like that because it did work in my favor.
Right.
But it does seem unfair that somebody can get 2 spots and somebody else can get none. But again, that person obviously has to go with the person. But I am fortunate enough to be able to go because I'm going with a friend. But if they didn't give me that spot, I would have been SOL. And that's so frustrating. So I don't know how they're going to come right. I have heard that when PSL reopen, that there will be 2 browsers, that there'll be 2 servers at least, excuse me. So that folks that are booking for London will be on a different server to folks that are booking for New York, which honestly,
Okay.
why wasn't that
Free
done
up
from the first place?
That'll free up a lot of bandwidth.
Of course, it has to do that because
2
there's no
booking
question
sites.
that 2 booking sites will make a difference. So we'll throw out, just to finish up the Chicago Peloton on tour, we gave you some hints about who will be there a couple weeks ago. So we know that Mariana, Rad, and Logan. Susie Chan is coming out from the UK. And then there are 2 others.
These are potentials. That could
These
be
are
there.
who we think will be
Okay.
at Peloton on tour. Yes. So it is the weekend of the Chicago Marathon. So there are a lot of folks going to come in, for that. And whether
Right.
they want to, whether they want to be at Peloton on tour and the marathon, I don't know.
And is it going to be at the location?
Skokie. The Skokie showroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah, I've
Skokie
been up there.
showroom.
That's
and then
the old, it's called Old Orchard. It's sort of like an outdoor mall.
Yes.
Setup.
And I think, correct. And that's why I think they're doing it. They've definitely scouted. I mean, I know that, we chatted about that.
Yeah, it's
before.
the suburbs. It's definitely easier parking.
Those type of, exactly. And more outdoor.
I'm sure there's a
where it's
park
conducive
nearby.
to lining up, parking near door, that, those kind of things. So yeah. So I would have loved to have seen you there, John, but I have decided to give other folks
you're passing on it?
I am. You know what? I really filled my bucket.
You got your fill in Atlanta. So, I did.
I got my fill in Atlanta, and I honestly want somebody else
top that experience. So might as well
really
go out on a high note.
Cool. And I want other people to have the opportunity of being able to, get in and get to do it. So while I'm disappointed because I have folks coming in from the UK to run the marathon that I would have loved to have seen, I'll see them in London next month anyway. So not a big deal. But so I am not going to go. Sorry, Zach Morris. I know you were looking forward to seeing me there, but I have decided not to go. So
I'll tell him he said hi.
Tell him I said hi. He is such a great
hopefully you mentioned Rad and a few others. I don't know. I'm hoping Jen Sherman might be a possibility for Chicago, and Cody. I don't know, in the midst of his book launch.
So
events,
it was interesting, John, because Cody was a name that was thrown around, but I know he's going to be in Chicago in September for his book launch.
Yeah, he's going to be in like a random suburb, though, in like Naperville, like out in, it's like no man's land, in the Chicago suburbs.
Yeah, I mean, look, Cody will be a huge draw, so no question. But yeah, I guess we'll know for sure next week, and we'll report.
I was hoping that Selena was going to be there, but I already got confirmation she will not.
She will not
be in Chicago unless she's just playing me and playing,
probably maybe with the baby,
Yeah, stand low.
That's right.
Yeah. So I actually am interested to know how they decided on who was going where and who got, because look, there are how many? 56 instructors. Not all of them are doing this Peloton on tour.
Well, right. I'm sure they, kind of poll them, and, people give, people that want to do it, they give their preference on location, then they kind of whittle it down from there. I would think that's kind of
what they did. Yeah, because I don't know who a row coach would be. I don't know if they're going to have a row coach in Chicago. So maybe Alex. Maybe Alex would, be the one to go. So I'm not sure, but I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
And then wrapping up the news, happy birthday to Kristen McGee. Kristen celebrated her birthday on this past Thursday, the 31st of August. So a very happy birthday to Kristen, and a fellow Virgo. And I
Happy
guess we'll
birthday.
jump right
Happy birthday.
into Instructor in the News. And John Mills, you'll kick it off.
Absolutely, and this is one this one really touched me. So Adrian Williams announced on his Instagram page that he signed on as an ambassador for the annual Day of Engagement this September for the Brain Aneurysm Foundation, the intent to raise awareness of this silent killer. He mentioned he's at a point in his life that he's constantly asking himself how he can raise awareness and support things that are near and dear to his heart, the Brain Aneurysm Foundation having a personal connection for him. In his Instagram video, he talks about an incident with his grandmother back in 2018, a person that he honors as a force in his life, as he describes it. One Sunday in 2018, Adrian said his grandmother called and asked if he could join her and the family for dinner. And he told her at the time he was really tired and didn't think he was going to be able to make it. His grandmother then responded that she really wanted him to begin to build a life where he can make time for family and friends. And later that night, she had a brain aneurysm, was discovered by his sister and died in the hospital the next day. And so Adrian says that he mentioned there are roughly 30,000 people that suffer from brain aneurysms every year, which equates to a brain aneurysm rupture every 18 minutes. And brain aneurysms are treatable, but early detection is critical. And this foundation is raising funds for that purpose to raise awareness. He says his grandmother used to tell him when he was a kid to never give up because great things take time. And since he's always wanted to help people create sustainable wellness, this initiative aligned well for him for multiple reasons. Donation to the Brain Aneurysm Foundation helps contribute to life-saving research, education, and as we said earlier, awareness and advocacy. So if you would like to help, Adrian shared a link for donation in his Instagram bio. The whole thing really resonated with me because he called his grandmother Nana. I called my grandmother the same. When I left the West Coast, I was born and raised in San Diego, and I moved to the East Coast in 1998. It was right after the same year that my grandmother passed away. And so it was like a aligning moment. I'm kind of leaving home, and it's right as the matriarch passes away. And then 2 years ago, my mother, who was a driving force in my life and always trying to advocate in my mind for less focus on the things that are shiny and more focus on the things that matter. That was her thing. And she passed away. She lived alone and she passed away. Suddenly, we didn't know she was ill at all. It just was kind of a sudden thing. And so it resonated with me and has driven how I present in the world now. And as I listened to him speak, it sounded like a similar kind of thing, that happened with him with this event. And so, shout out to Adrian for seeing this, aligning to something with purpose, and then coming on and just being so raw and open with what he's looking to do. Yeah, that was awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, I don't know if you two have been keeping up with all the different rounds that Cody has been making lately on different podcasts, but he's been really in full force, and most of the different interviews they're kind of different, depending on the co-hosts and the show, but they've been very entertaining. But he recently did a podcast interview on a Barstool Sports podcast just last week, I believe. It's called the Out and About Podcast with Pat and Joey. And this one, I don't know if either of you listened to it. It was a little chaotic. It was fun, but these two co-hosts just constantly would just talk over each other. Just they would all be shouting at the same time. So it was a little crazy at times, but it was still a lot of fun. And one particular interesting tidbit that Cody had shared, which he hadn't shared anywhere else publicly or in any of the other podcasts that he's been doing lately, was that he actually auditioned for the Barbie movie as one of the Kens. He had said that the director, Greta Gerwig, had reached out to, apparently she's a fan, she's probably a Peloton member and is a fan of Cody, had reached out to him directly and asked him to audition for the part, we don't think it's the actual Ken that Ryan Gosling played, but one of the Kens in the movie. Sorry, we got dogs barking in the background. But Cody had said, I was told by Greta asked for me personally. I guess she's a fan or takes my ride, so I audition. He said, in all honesty, I'm not a great actor. He said, but I effing slayed that audition. So I don't know what happened, but you put it out there and it is what it is. He didn't specifically say which Ken role he auditioned for, but Greta Gerwig reportedly talked about how she wrote the role of the Ken for Ryan Gosling. So it was all created around him, the actor. So Cody's role would have been obviously for one of the other Kens that appears in the movie. It's funny because in the interview, he was gushing how he loved the movie, but just recently in his pre-show, he was sort of negatively saying like, "Oh, why are we just praising men for doing nothing?"
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, so he didn't want to cast any shade after, I guess, dropping that little story about after saying what a big fan Greta is.
Right.
Just the experience of being able to, interview or read for the part, and then the fact that she, thought of him for it. I think I would think that all of those are like life experiences that he can pack away. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, he's
right?
He's a full-fledged card carrying SAG-AFTRA member now, and he's
right.
And he said, he's very careful. He doesn't want to come across like he's promoting any kind of movie when he's talking about Barbie or any other movies, especially in the pre-show of his classes, because he's like, I respect the strike. I don't want to, come across as a promotion.
That's right.
So
that makes sense. I don't know anything about the Barbie movie, so this is news for me.
It was fun.
There's the Ken, and then there were other Kens. Like I didn't see that's news.
Correct.
Well,
there's all these other Ken doll characters.
Right.
Yeah,
and then
there's multiple Kens, obviously.
Oh, that makes sense. I got it. Different Ken doll characters.
Yeah.
Got it.
Too funny. All right. Well, our girl Jess Sims, she's been very, very busy between her game day and her Saturday 60s and everything else that she does. She's also teamed up with Dunkin' Donuts. She announced on Instagram that she had a special treat for fans, a promo code for a free iced coffee. But if you weren't quick enough in redeeming it, you might have been out of luck. The code became so popular that it reached its maximum limit within hours. I gotta tell you guys, I was one of the lucky ones. And I did go out and got myself my iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I gotta tell you, I'm a Starbucks girl. I'm sorry. Sorry, Maddie. Sorry, Jess. So much so, I'm embarrassed to say I dumped it. I felt so bad because when I was doing the story for the article, my thought process was it was free. So, okay, I don't feel like I'm throwing something away, but I actually didn't dump it. I actually left it on the side, and I was hoping that, I don't know, maybe somebody could see it was a whole iced coffee would take it. I don't know, but it was disgusting. It was disgusting. I'm sticking with my Starbucks. Sorry, but man. I am a Starbucks girl.
All the people that tried to use their code and couldn't get it right now are just all
polarizing.
So pissed. Never mind that. My son. So I'm ordering. He gets one every morning on his way.
He gets the donkeys.
He gets his donkeys. There's one in the corner of where his apartment is in DC, and he picks up his Dunkin' that he takes on his way to school. And I said, Aaron, you're going to get a free Dunkin'. And he messaged me the following morning, and he's like, WTF? Like, what do you mean? It tells me that it's all out. I'm like, oh shit. I used that code and you could have
took his free donkeys.
Hell, on a teacher's salary,
and you wasted it. You squandered it.
He needed that free Dunkin' much more than I did, tossing it.
Right.
But sorry.
Shame.
I don't know. Are you guys Dunkin' fans?
No. I'm not a coffee drinker, so.
Oh, okay.
Don't.
Okay. I'm not either. And maybe that's my issue. I'm not a coffee drink. I will have, a Starbucks. I actually do the latte. So I'm thinking maybe that's why it wasn't as good. I'm sorry. It was disgusting. Disgusting. So moving on.
So Robin Arzón announced on her Instagram page that she will be at the Barnes & Noble Union Square store in New York on September 28th at 7 p.m. According to the announcement, Robin says it will be an unforgettable evening celebrating the release of Welcome Hustler, her new journal that officially releases on September 26th. Robin believes that writing down your innermost thoughts can help you create the framework for your future. So she describes that her intent with her new journal is to craft a journal that allows for that, offering inspirational quotes and writing prompts to lead to self-discovery, breaking down expectations, honing a positive attitude, and pinpointing goals. During the event, attendees will enjoy a Q&A session, receive a signed copy of her new journal, and have a photo moment with Robin. Robin has a link in her bio to get tickets. You can also go to stores.barnesandnoble.com/events and search for Robin Arzón to find the event and buy tickets there as well. So yeah, I guess that's like a post-release kind of signing in New York. I'm assuming that there's going to be a whole bunch of people in that area that are at the studio checking out her classes. It'll probably be there in support. So I look forward to seeing those pictures.
Cool. I know. When is she going to be back on the platform this year for maternity leave? I can't remember what she was, how long her and Jess King were.
Well, Jess King's back.
Yeah.
She'll be back in the next couple of weeks. I saw her on
She's
the
already back
schedule.
teaching? Oh.
Yeah, she's back, I think, next week, maybe. But remember, she didn't give birth. So maybe, she can bounce back a little bit.
It was Sophie
a little bit quicker.
Right.
So yeah, I did see her. I know she was definitely on the schedule.
Chris Giles just chimed in and said probably the end of the year, Robin will be back.
With Robin. All right.
Interesting. Well, Maddie Giacomo got a new puppy. He and his partner Evan welcomed the newest addition. They recently adopted a little puppy that they named Nana from Muddy Paws Rescue in New York. And he did shout out Jess Sims and thanked her. It sounds like she had a hand in fixing them up with the organization. But it's cute. It looks like a little, a pit mix. It almost looks like a young Sienna Grace, one of Jess's, dogs. It was like gray with a little white belly. And I know Maddie, they had a bulldog, Luther, that passed away earlier this year, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure they were getting ready for.
I guess his ex-partner had taken the dog back to California, so he wasn't seeing it as much. It wasn't his and Evan's dog, from what I understood.
Luther wasn't?
Luther wasn't. It was Maddie and his ex-partner, who he remained very good friends with, and I guess they had joint custody over the dogs. So they.
I didn't know that.
I think he would. Huh. Yeah. But I gotta tell you, I've been watching Maddie's stories, and that dog is very smart. I mean, it's just a puppy, but in the few days that he's had him, or her at least, she's so trained. I mean, he's got her, which I thought was very interesting. I also thought was very interesting, which I didn't even think about, was that he was saying that he really can't take her out. He has to do everything in the apartment until she gets all her shots, because it's just so dangerous to take a new puppy out in New York in the streets. So they got like this really big pen that they have her in. But it was interesting because I did his walk and talk that he dropped this past week. It wasn't obviously live because the studio was dark. But he spoke about he hadn't gotten her yet, but he spoke about, the fact that he was in the midst of getting the dog. And he was talking about names. And somebody messaged me afterwards and said, hang on a second, didn't he call the dog Nana? Because none of the names that he mentioned in the walk and talk were any of them. Like he was using funny, he was using names of artists, and then, within with a dog name at the same time. But, I haven't heard yet where Nana came from, where he got Nana from. So I'm curious to find out.
Yeah. What the origin.
But yeah. Yeah, but that was kind of cute. I'm happy for him. He seems so happy, which I don't know. He's got a beautiful apartment, on the Upper West Side. I can't imagine having a puppy in there chewing everything, all that beautiful furniture,
Right?
and peeing all over it,
Oh.
especially if he can't take it out yet. But we welcome. I'm also a proud auntie of Nana. I think she's beautiful. So very cute. Very, very cute. All right, guys. Well, I guess that wraps up that portion of the show, and we are going to go right into picks of the week. I will kick it off with Katie Wong. Katie Wong had a 15-minute Max Martin row. It was from the 24th, 10 a.m. Kelly with a plan. My God, Kelly. Kelly with a plan recommended this one. She said, super high, fun energy, so much so that I got a new PR despite there only being one max effort. So huge congrats there. Next up, Bex Gentry. Bex did a 30-minute Max Martin walk plus run, also on the 24th. Kelly with the plan recommended that one too, said it was absolutely fantastic. She had more time to really go into Max Martin's history and stats. I liked the programming of the intervals, and it was my best walk plus run since December when I started to be plagued with foot pain. So it felt really great to be running those intervals at my fast pace to such a fire playlist. Apparently, Max Martin is my favorite producer, and I never knew it. That's kind of cute. And then Kira Michelle. Kira Michelle had a 20-minute yoga conditioning. It was a lower body conditioning, also dropped on the 24th. Yogi Bear KT recommended this one. They said these yoga conditioning classes are a great addition and love taking them.
Nice. All right, Camilla Ramon's 30-minute Dembo ride from August 25th. We got this from Art Tier MD. They said great energy and rhythm to start a Friday with. And then Cody's 45-minute intervals and arms, also from the 25th. Jen Go, Amanjo, Graham London, and Olinger, Debbie gave us this one. They said just an overall great class from Cody. And then Mila Lazar's 20-minute groove ride in German from August 25th. We got this from ClickStar. They said Mila is a great addition to the Groove Rides team.
All right. And then we've got Mariana Fernandez, her 45-minute 90s run from 8:25 at 3 p.m. Eastern time. That comes in from Kafini. Do I have that right? And S. Velde. And they say killer playlist for elder millennials. She brought great positive energy, like always. And then we have Emma Lovewell's 30-minute 90s rock ride from August 27th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That comes in from Daisy Mack, Liz 311, and Steph with an F, as well as with SC Rubies. And they say these are her specialty. Such a great playlist. And spoiler alert, there's Tabata. Then we have Leanne Hainsby's 30-minute low impact ride on August 25th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. That comes in from Amajar 3. And she says this one hit the spot with a fun playlist, Spice Girls, Destiny's Child, TLC, and more.
Awesome. And then we'll go into Anna Greenberg. She did a 30-minute pop yoga flow from the 27th. Wow. This one was recommended by Gucci Bucci, Leanne Van, and Amaja 3. They said fun playlist with songs from 90s teen movies. Tunde had a 30-minute low impact ride from the 27th. This one came from Jessica Lee, 23. They said good structure for a low impact ride and great playlist too. And Christine Dirklay's 45-minute New Wave ride, also from the 27th. It was at 2 p.m. Eastern. This one came from Chrissy C, Kim Thousand, Live Your Y, and Nick of Time. They all said this was Christine's Crashiversary, and she let us race with a race simulation too. Such a great class. Somebody else
I did
said
that one
amazing
live.
class. Oh, did you?
I did it live. It was Sunday afternoon. It was basically the last live class before PSNY shut down, for the week.
Just want to read the other comments. Amazing class. She was laser focused, present with great music too.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, and I did love she did all these like racing simulations where, because she's not all about racing on the leaderboard. She's all about the inclusivity that you're just showing up and that's enough. So it was a lot of fun doing these she would do these quick countdowns and then have you like sprint, for like a quick burst. But she did several of them, and she would just randomly at different times go 3, 2, 1, go. So it was a lot of fun.
That's
good times. Dennis Morton's 30-minute Motley Crue yoga flow from the 28th. We got this from Rock Ride 728. They said, great surprise to have this extra artist series yoga flow drop. And then Maddie's 30-minute pop walk from the 30th. Betty RK to NC submitted this one. They said, even though the studio is closed, Maddie still brought us a great walk and talk at his normal time slot with this one. And then rounding out the picks of the week, Ash Pryor's 20-minute recovery row from the 30th. We got this from Row Run Ride 912. They said Ash's recovery rows are always great and fun playlist of Broadway/movie songs.
And I am going to throw in one more. I forgot to send it to Chris, but this is my one. And this was, John Husking's 10-minute arms and light weights. So we know that the tread instructors are kind of coming onto the platform trying to do these. I got to tell you guys, this one was a burner. He did mostly triceps and, arms were above your head. I've been doing this, as I mentioned, I've been doing Ben's split program, but when I saw this 10-minute, I thought, I'm just going to throw it in on an off day. I could not do arms the next day. My arms were so sore. They still so sore, like washing my hair. And it was only 10 minutes. So I guess the point is, and it was funny because John started the class by saying, if you want to, something more strenuous, or if you want to do something longer, go and find a boot camp or go and find a strength class. And I messaged him afterwards and said, like, were you high? I mean, that was the hardest class I think I've ever done. How could you tell us to go and do something else? So that was my pick of the week. I mean, great tunes. He always has great tunes. Still getting used to seeing the instructors on the tread doing an arms and light weights versus the bike. The bike just seems, I don't know, maybe because we're used to it, but it was a great class, and I definitely wanted to shout that class out. So I'll make sure Chris adds that in there.
And while you shouted that one out, I also want to. I didn't submit it either, but I figured it would be one of somebody would have submitted it. But Cody's 30-minute Max Martin ride, which is part of the producer series. Super fun, just like a whole bunch of hits, Brittany, Kelly Clarkson, Ariana, because this guy's like the hit maker of producers. But super fun 30-minute ride. If you have not taken that one, check it out.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess that wraps us up. For those of you celebrating this Labor Day weekend, we wish you a safe and family-filled weekend as we wind down the summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. Can't quite believe that the summer is, kind of winding down and coming to an end. What Maddie did say in his walk and talk, he goes, I don't know, folks here in the States say summer starts, Memorial Day and ends Labor Day. He goes, us gays, we celebrate until October. He said, until Halloween, then summer is over.
The party in Fire Island rages on through September.
But the way he goes, us gays, we just celebrate through October.
Keep it going.
He goes, it's none of this September.
It never stops.
We never
I like
stop.
that idea.
But, the kids are all going back to school, and I guess everybody's kind of getting into some momentum. Is Jackson back yet?
The day after Labor Day.
Okay.
This is his first day. Yeah, 5th grade.
Maryland schools go back already.
We now have a 16-year-old living with us for the next 2 school years who's he's a hockey player. He's part of the USA Hockey National Development Team. So he's from Minnesota.
Oh, that's fantastic. Tell us about that. Jacobs. I saw you posted. Yeah. Where did he come from?
Minnesota.
Okay.
Awesome. He's a winger. He just moved in last Monday. But he hasn't been here that much. I mean, he spends the whole day at the hockey rink doing school and training and skating. and conditioning. But Jackson's loving, when he's here, having
I'm
time
sure
with
he's
him.
loving it. And good for you and Jackie
Yeah.
for opening up your home and doing something like that. I think that's really admirable. I have to tell you.
I agree.
Wow, that's amazing. Maybe I need to go find somebody like that. My house is so damn quiet these days. I swear, I hate it. I'm telling you, anybody that's
You don't like
listening
the, you
that
don't
has
like the
just
empty nest,
become,
Amanda?
nope. Anybody that's
No?
listening that has just become an empty nester, it frigging
Really?
sucks. I'm going on year 3, and I got to tell you, you don't think that, John? You've enjoyed
Well,
the girls have left?
Yeah. Well, it sucked for me for a little bit. But I remember when it was really clear to me that it didn't suck anymore, because Jasmine came back home and I was working from home, like in boxer shorts on the couch. And I forgot I was in boxer shorts, and she knocked on the door, and I just opened it up and like, oh, hi. And I just went back to sitting down. And that's when I realized I was over her living there,
Coming home.
It's nice that they just visit.
Yeah, no, I got to tell you, I like a full house. I really do. Look, I'm fortunate enough that I can get up to New York and see, one there. I can see my son in DC and the little ones in Miami. And when I'm down there, I get to see her. So I get to see my kids. But I got to tell you, it's just, I love having people in my house. So anyone's visiting Maryland, you're more than welcome. My door is always open. So my husband may not feel the same way, but I'm inviting you. I love having people around. So anyway, for those folks that are celebrating or kids going back to school, we wish everybody an awesome 2023-2024 school year. And
absolutely.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. John Mills, thank you so much for
absolutely
popping back in. I think you may become a regular here.
I love it.
Nice. It's a
out
little
with you
less
guys
work
cool.
for us.
Yeah, we got a good rhythm. I feel like we got good flow now. Yeah.
Right.
I think so. Now we
just
need to get a Brit on the show, and then we'll be all complete. We've got a little bit of everybody here.
Right.
We just need to get a Brit on. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys. Well, for me here in Maryland, I look forward to seeing hopefully some of you at the studio and at Leanne and Hannah's Sip and Shop and Tea Time. But otherwise, we will see you back in a couple weeks from me. Oh, look at that. The dog's saying, get off the damn show, Dad. We're done. We're done. All right.
That's probably the 16-year-old coming home.
Right.
Well, for me here in Michigan, thank you for tuning in, watching, and listening from all over. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.